Today, for Connecticut Public Radio, we have a legend of comedy in the making. Somebody that puts their soul, their heart, their entire being into everything they do. Someone that, a short that they did last year, I saw and I had no idea it was them, and I remember laughing on the toilet about a dolphin, heating up a dolphin, I believe, in like the oven type of joke. Somebody that, when I went to the Car World Gala, was one of the more personable people and seemed very human and non-robotic. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Whitley Watson, somebody that I think you're going to be hearing about for a very, very long time to come. And Whitley, everybody on this program, hey, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing? What an introduction.
Yeah, try to get all the butter on the muffin before we get to the nitty gritty.
Oh yeah, Connecticut muffin.
The the CP muffin.
Muffin.
The one thing I ask everybody is at the start of these interviews is, Whitley Watson, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm going to North Carolina tomorrow.
Ooh, nice.
So I don't have to work, so I'm very excited.
That's awesome. And then, are you going up to Raleigh, or are you going to the beaches, or what's going on?
I'm going outside Asheville. I'm going to a wedding in Chapel Hill, so a little taste of the Carolina.
That's awesome. Yeah, you're going to be in Dawson's Creek territory, and there's one question in here I wanted to ask you about that show, but I'll get to that another time.
Okay, yeah, sure.
But starting off, basic questions. The other one I ask everyone, I'll ask at the end, but I want to open this up. For those that don't know, you should follow Whitley Watson on Instagram. Her stories are hilarious. As someone that is diagnosed anxiety, huge major depressive disorders, she not only puts out relatable content where she puts out her opinions and expresses herself, but she's able to laugh at herself. And also, I think it was the other day, you put up a banana peel anxiety example.
Oh, yeah.
And this has nothing to do with, mental health or whatever, but on a story about 3 or 4 days ago, I'd like to start this interview off by asking you, Whitley, could you please tell us your thoughts on the man you describe as fuckboy Gary Busey?
Oh my God. Okay, so I watch so much dating TV show reality. That's like my, escapism that I like. There's something like, they're all so like abusive to each other, and there's something like very relaxing about that to me. But so I'm watching a show called Perfect Match, and it's basically like the Avengers of all the Netflix shows. It has people from The Circle, it has people from Love is Blind, it has people from The Ultimatum, and it's just really crazy because they've clearly originally all been cast for these very different shows, and are in very different emotional places. So like The Ultimatum started as fun and then became one of the darkest things I've ever seen. So those people are not emotionally prepared for games. And then the Circle people are very typical kind of fun-loving, energetic. They're all from Long Island and coast towns. And then you have the Love is Blind people, and they're all from Atlanta, Dallas, and Chicago. And they are very corny, and they're not as built, and they don't have any fillers, and there's just such a clear distinction. But the one guy who is able to cross over is this dude who was on Love is Blind named Shane, who has some of the oddest energy I've ever, he makes no sense on Love is Blind, but he's truly found his power in this other realm where he's with all the basically Love Island type people.
Okay.
And he can still do all the speeches and be I just really want to be dramatic and think about I want to find love and I want to open up and all that stuff, but then he also just has emotional meltdowns over the dumbest shit. So, which is what you want for the dating style reality TV. So I just think it's very interesting seeing, who can do this as a job and who is just kind of stuck in their I would say very Atlanta adherence to monogamy as a way of life.
Cool. I've got one question down the road. I'll come back to reality TV, but thanks for explaining that because I love when you do those story breakdowns and the Nick Lachey commentary. I can't wait to talk to you about. But this next question, when we originally tried to get this interview going, your profile picture on Instagram was of everybody's favorite batty, crazy white bat guy, Bartok. And I wanted to ask you, what is it about the film Anastasia that you love? Do you think you look like Bartok the Bat? Like, what's going on there?
Okay, so I think I like historical stuff just kind of generally. Yeah. And I've always liked, like, street rat people, so I think that's why I like Anastasia. But it's not like it's my crazy favorite or anything. But I love like a chihuahua or like a miniature pinscher or anything that's kind of like sleek and big-eared and sort of pathetic in, like its smallness. I really relate to that. And then I'm going through a lot of weird stuff about like how I look and being in public or like adapting to more people like seeing you online. And so I was having like a complete meltdown. And so I deleted a bunch of photos and, like took my profile pictures down because it was like making me feel crazy. Okay. And I put up Bartok, because that felt good or that felt like deal withable. But I thought someone might be like, I wanted someone to like get in a fight with someone on Twitter and have them be like, you have an anime profile, and just be like, he's actually not anime. But it did not happen, so.
Damn. I mean, if I get the handle on Twitter, I'll follow you, and then I'll start a fake fight if you want.
Yeah, great. I'm a bad tweeter, so it's not really worth it. I've tried to like figure it out, but it's something mentally. It's not. I'm not on the wavelength.
That's how I am with TikTok and stuff. I went viral with like 200K video, and I still have no freaking idea how the fuck that happened. But all right, moving on from that. Thank you for answering. But puff piece question. I wished you happy birthday a few days ago. I gotta know, Whitley, how did your birthday go?
It was actually really, really good. It was like the best birthday I've ever had.
Yes.
We have rehearsals for the show I'm doing with Brooke Elliott. This is social, and she actually surprised me and had a bunch of our friends come and had like cake and stuff. And so that was just so sweet and meaningful, and so it was really wonderful. And I got a lot of nice messages, including yours. So it was a really nice birthday.
Good. Okay. I want not to get all personal, but any nice gifts besides the stuff that your crew gave you?
Any nice gifts? My mom got me a massage.
Hey, cool.
Super nice. Yeah. But besides that, not too much. I'm not a big gifts person.
Gotcha. Okay. So I guess maybe this is my gift in question form, but a religious experience is without a doubt one of my favorite things I've ever seen involving the Illuminati. So I wanted to ask you, how did that project start? How do you feel about it? And do you remember when you wrote that dolphin joke? Because it's a banger.
Yeah, so that short was originally like a piece of stand-up that I did. The one main time I performed it was at the Vital Joint. Okay. If you are familiar with that, it was like a underground place to do stand-up. It was the first place I really did any like alt comedy stuff. Mm-hmm. But it was basically just like a little monologue I had written about like kind of like an MLM style, like how to get ahead. And I included that in it, and the joke got a big response when I did it live. But then I just kind of stopped doing it, and then I had an idea to make it into like a short. Yeah.
Nice. I love. I don't know what it is. If it's just the atmosphere of the piece, if it's the saturation of the color, which makes it so remarkable. But the last 40 seconds or last 35, I don't know why I freaking reduced it 5 seconds there, but where it's you going up to the Illuminati guy, and it's like he's touched, like, oh, this one, this little ant in the hill, she's okay. We're not gonna kill her quite yet.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was good. I mean, it's Micah Phillips, and he is such a good actor. I think that's really part of it, is he just is able to get so much with so little.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's also like, there's like a lot of slowness in that first, in the like lead up to that moment. And I think the tension of that, and there's like a lot of movies, I like a lot of stuff where there's a lot of space in between things, more than just you're getting the information of the plot. And so I think it's just nice to like the whole vibe of it, and then the tension up to that, and then he's just like, genuinely touched, I guess, is fun.
Shout out to him.
That's a question. I feel like I lost track of.
No, that was great. And then I'm gonna dovetail off of the questions I wrote, because now I'm curious to know. It seems like you got the same taste as I do in movies, but do you have a favorite movie, or maybe one of those less plotless stuff that you're talking about?
I think one of my favorite movies is Woman Under the Influence.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. I was just watching it.
I love that movie.
Awesome.
And I love the vibe of that movie, and I love how people feel in that movie. Just like more real people, you know, and there's like a lot of space and back and forth, and it's not like, okay, and then this happens in the plot, and this, you know. I'm trying to think of some other. I'm really bad at like recalling names of stuff, but also really like Ali Theory to the Soul. If you've seen that movie,
It's Theory to the Soul.
Ali Theory to the Soul. It's a Werner.
Werner Herzog.
What is his name? Sorry,
Werner.
Michael. It's Fassbender. It's a Fassbender.
Oh, okay.
And it's about like a Moroccan. I think he's Moroccan immigrant, younger guy who falls in love with like an older German woman. The same kind of like very sort of like humble settings, and like people who seem kind of like they're not acting like traditional actors.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of like space and just kind of like maybe what would feel like an awkward pause, but I think it's really good. I really like those.
Cool. I mean, we're going from Fassbender and Cassavetes. The Killing of a Chinese Bookie is one of my favorite movies ever, but you worked on John Wick 2 in the art department, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, right up there with John Cassavetes, we got 4 films about a dude who's pissed about the dog getting killed. How did that gig happen?
How did I get that gig?
Yeah.
I think through friends at the time. I was like working art department, and this was more like an office art department job, but somebody just referred me, and I worked on it for like a few weeks, and I got to make the video where they do the fight scene in like an art gallery. I like got to make that, so I took all this shit home and like filmed this magnetic fluid, and then like edited it together, and
damn.
It was very cool. It was just like a random one-off thing. And I got to see Keanu Reeves warm up like a lean cuisine.
Wow, what flavor of lean cuisine?
I don't remember. I didn't see what flavor it was, but it was just like a very rumors are true, a very chill, nice guy. Just kind of came in, heated up his lunch, was chilling.
I thought you meant warming up like he was practicing like a lean cuisine, but okay.
Oh, no. He was making it to eat.
Damn, all right. Respect.
They would have like our offices, and then above our offices, they had like made a dojo for him to do like the fight training in, and so he came down to make his lunch.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty cool, and I hope someday we get a sketch where you're playing Sandra Bullock in Speed, and then he's just right there, because that would be cool.
Yeah, sure.
All right, but sketch-wise and short-wise, Love and Other Drugs. It's quick, it's sweet, it's biting-to-the-point comedy. I love your screaming motorcycle delivery those 2 times in the video. And I want to just ask is, what drew you to comedy in the first place? And do you remember when you first realized, damn, like, I'm good at this. Maybe I could make it professionally?
I don't know. So I just really like comedy generally. I don't think I thought of it as like, oh, this is my interest.
Yeah.
Or like being a comedian. And then I moved to New York City, and I was working on films, and there's a bunch of UCB people in some little like short a friend of mine was making that I was working on, and they were just so like talented, and it was so fun to be in the room with them. So I started doing like improv stuff, and I did that for a little bit, and then I was like, this is not the right scene, or you know what I mean, or I'm just not going to be what they want because it's very specific. And so then I started doing other stuff, and then like pandemic I started doing more stand-up. And I think when I was doing stand-up is when I felt more like, oh, okay, like pretty like confident in my ability to like go in and write a joke and make someone laugh. I also did a bunch of stuff with this Shout Out Pitch, which was an app where you could write jokes, and it was Matt Kleinman, super nice guy, but the idea was eventually you like could submit a topic and then everyone writes their jokes and then everyone votes and the top jokes like win.
Nice.
And the idea was eventually you could give that out to like advertisers, and basically you'd be copywriting in this kind of like free form app verse. And we did a couple of jobs like that, and that was cool because you get paid like to have a good joke, and you just go in there and like write jokes. And I did pretty good at that, and they had some like live events, so I feel like I did really well, and that's where I kind of felt like, oh wow, like I feel good about this. And yeah, and in terms of it, like, oh, I could do this as a career, like, I don't know, still trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was kind of my comedy trajectory.
Nice. Well, going off of comedy trajectory and stuff, even though the UCB thing may not have been your scene, it seems like you got a big thing for wigs, and that wigs are definitely your scene. Do you have a favorite one that you wear?
I don't know. I definitely like being in costume. I think that's a lot easier than dressing my normal self. And so
Gotcha.
I have a few, and then also it's just like a hair thing of just like, just like if you have like Afro textured hair, like it's just more of a thing to, put on different hair, try different things out, but also like having straight hair is more, I think sometimes it's a choice to want to feel more looking a certain way, like for better or worse, for a certain character, and imagining those characters as having straight hair.
Yeah.
So I think that I always like I like how the really long, like dark haired looks. I like the short blonde bob. Like pink ones, pretty much anything that you get to kind of like have a different persona, I think is always a little fun, but probably long dark wig be a fave.
Gotcha, okay. So when it comes to the blonde wig, the dark wig, there's a certain point of I'm going to choose what might be best for me. So with this next question, Whitley, would you like to play a round of Kill, Marry, Fuck?
Sure, yeah, sure.
Awesome. Sure, yeah, sure. So Kill, Marry, Fuck Whitley Watson. We've got a stack of freshly made pancakes.
Mm-hmm.
We have some fresh, extra salty, delicious sardines.
Okay.
And finally, a ripe, plump, and polyamorous cat.
Plump polyamorous cat?
A polyamorous cat, yep.
Alright, I'm gonna kill the cat.
Oof, okay.
Just because I don't want to marry or have sex with it. That feels too complicated to tease out. So,
yeah.
But I guess killing the cat, I have to kill it with my own hands. Not fun either. So maybe I'll marry the cat.
Oh, all right.
And then we could just kind of live. It's polyamorous, right? So, like, we have a non-sexual platonic life partnership. And that would probably be good with the cat. And then I will kill the sardines. They're already dead. And then I will fuck the pancakes.
Awesome. And then...
Interestingly enough, my friend once told me that he was like aroused by pancakes. And I was like, okay, sure. And I was like, I kind of like waffles more. And he said, that makes sense because you're a woman.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. It was interesting.
Damn, I mean, I find both pancakes and waffles slightly arousing, so I don't even know what the hell that says about me.
Yeah, what does that even mean in this crazy world?
Yeah. All right, well then, thank you for answering that. I try to tailor it to some of the different sketches that you put out. But the next question, for folks that don't know, tell us why they should give a shit about club video. What sets you apart from others in the New York comedy scene?
Yeah, why should people care about club video and what sets us apart? Probably what sets us apart is we have no business sense.
All right.
Yeah, no, I think me and Micah, we try to create a space that is very supportive, and a lot of, like, the, mechanisms of the show are geared towards, like, creating something that doesn't feel competitive and feels very open, where you could, like, experiment, and feels very open and inviting, and trying to keep that instead of having it feel stressful or like there's a lot of pressure for anyone. And then it's just a very good community spirit. The people who are involved, I think, are a lot of not only really talented, but really, like, wonderful people and very giving and have a strong desire to, like, be generative and creative and generous. And so I think that that's something that feels very good to be around. And I feel very good that it seems like people genuinely enjoy being at the event. And you get to see brand new stuff, and there's, like, a lot of energy that is created around that. And then also, too, like, I think something that I like about the show is, like, you can go see other shows. Like, this is just the show we put on, and, like, it is totally possible for other people to make and create their own shows. And I think that we hope people do that, because the one we put on is just very curated to, like, what is interesting to us, and, like, that's it. I'm like, this seems cool and this seems interesting to us, and if it's not interesting to you, then, like, I hope that people would see what we've done and been like, oh, I can make my own thing also. So
wholesome, detailed, beautiful answer, and it tailors into my first cameo question for you. Let's see if I can play it through Instagram. Let me know if you can hear this, okay?
Okay.
Whitley, this is your boy MDL here. I'm excited to play this year's club video show, and my question for you is, what do you see as the future of the club video franchise, and do you see yourself as kind of a Perry Farrell, where you're going to sell it and it's going to become the next Lollapalooza, but for laughs instead of music? Thanks for your time, and thanks for doing what you do, because you inspire many.
I can't hear it.
Damn it. Okay. Let me just give me 1 second to see.
Yeah, no worries.
All right. So the cameo I'll edit in is from Buffalonian sweetheart Matthew Danger Lippman, the guy that was on Connecticut Public Radio before. Had a great time, and Whitley actually shouted out our show because she was like, "Hey, this is good. Check it out." And what MDL is asking is, and I'll try and do an impression of him, but it's not going to be too good. So, Whitley, I was just wondering, what is the future of club video, or, do you intend to be like the Perry Farrell of club video and sell this? And also just very excited to do the show. Can't wait for the block party.
Hell yeah. What was the name he said? The Perry Farrell?
Perry Farrell. I should have Googled, but you know what? I'll do it now.
Let's both do it.
Perry
Farrell.
I see American singer-songwriter.
Oh my god, this guy from
Jane's Addiction?
Jane's Addiction? Is this like Lollapalooza? Did he start Lollapalooza?
Oh, that's it! And at the end, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he's not looking too good, yeah.
I hope he's okay.
He looks like he could be a What We Do in the Shadows frontrunner now.
Yeah, I guess that's my ideal look. Okay, they created Lollapalooza as a farewell tour for Jane's addiction. Ah.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool to learn. So we basically, like with Club Video, we don't have a big plan, and as like I said before, we're not great business people, so it's kind of like difficult for us to. It's not like designed well in terms of like making money or being scalable.
Right.
But every time we try to see like, well, what can we do? What can we improve? Blah, blah, blah. So the biggest thing now is like we kind of need a bigger space. But we love KLN who host us. They're wonderful people. But like last time we had to turn like 50 people away, and we would love for everybody to get to come and also be able to fit inside. But the barrier with that is like it's New York City and things are very, very expensive even for one night. And we're not, you know what I mean? We're not like we're not making a bunch of money. So it's very hard to figure out how we could like get into a bigger space. So we've tried really hard to like think about like getting permits for outside or doing blah, blah, but that's the big task is trying to figure out how to get into a bigger space. And then me and Micah were also yesterday in the car trying to think about making an app.
Cool.
We were trying to think about if we could make an app where you could put like local, basically like a Facebook events, but just for like a very specific local scene.
Yeah.
To share events. But most of, there's no like big grand plan. It's mostly like what's the next small thing we can take on once like the last thing we did feels manageable.
Nice. If you're looking for people to help you out with that, Connecticut Public Radio would love to be a part of it because it seems like you've got a big aspiration for the success of an app to help with comedy.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're trying to look really at like how to get out of bigger portals so that people can do things by themselves. So like a big thing is like ticketing. We've tried to do it, and people do their ticketing, and they're just these big cuts. And like if you could figure out a way to like have a low rate ticketing system, like one, a place to find cool events, be they free or whatever, and two, a way to like have a ticketing system that is not insane and taking a lot of people's, money.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, then stepping out from the portal, this next question involves 3 of my favorite TV shows as of late, and I'd like to know your thoughts on them if you have any, if that's cool.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. So, Whitley Watson, how do you feel about the TV show Mad Men, and about the TV show Fleabag, and about the TV show Dawson's Creek, and do you yourself have a favorite television show?
Okay, cool. So first up, Dawson's Creek, never seen it, and kind of no interest. Not to say that it's not good, but I remember seeing like images of it, but like zero knowledge.
Yeah.
Mad Men, I really like Mad Men. It's like so meditative because very little happens, or even stuff that does happen is not, it's in kind of like in the type of cinema I like. It's in this very anticlimactic kind of like matter-of-fact way a lot of the times.
Yeah.
And I like that tone level, and obviously like everything in it is beautiful, and I think Don Draper is like a very good character, and like almost everybody is like you're not even that close to them. You don't feel close to them.
Yeah.
But you feel attached to like their story, and it's very human in that way of like they're not necessarily likable as characters, but they are very relatable, and so I really love that show. And then Fleabag, I love.
Let's go. Let's go.
I love
Tell them why.
It's such a good. Yeah, sorry, what were you saying?
No, I love that show too, so just tell them why, Whitley.
I love Fleabag, one, because it's just such a, it's like very, it's like, she is very willing to be evil, and not in a, like, cutesy stoner way, like, in a very human way, in a very, like, relatable way, and she's so funny. And I think a lot of times, like, women don't get to be that way, but she's not doing it in, like, a very self-aware way like that. She's just truly being, like, a human being on screen with, like, a lot of flaws, and so funny. And that same, I really love, like, an ensemble where she has, like, all these other people around her, and they're, like, you know, what's going on with them and the relationship with her stepmom and her sister and stuff. But I also, too, just, like, I don't know if you've ever seen I May Destroy You.
I
it's
haven't.
like a similar mix of being, like, a female character that gets to be really, really human and kind of unapologetic and not, like, selling herself in this way as, like, the hero, but just being very human, and also this mix of, like, darkness and really funniness, which I think is, like, how everything should be, because it's how everything is. So that I really like that show.
Cool. Yeah, Dawson's Creek, it's just when I was growing up, my babysitter would watch it, so I was like, oh man, this is what it's like when I'm gonna grow up, and everything's gonna be like that. But yeah, Mad Men's, like, my favorite show of all time. I love hearing you wax poetically about it, because it is. It's that Sopranos format Matt Weiner took from David Chase, except he ups the ante of one act playism, I guess, if I can even use that type of wording. Because, none of the characters truly are likable. And when it comes to Fleabag, you hit the nail on the cross, pun intended, because that show, every time I watch it, it is heartbreaking to see her sleep with her best friend's ex-boyfriend, and then, you know, the next moment, she's gone and hit by the car.
Yeah.
And it's a great segue into my next question. In my fridge right now, I still have the Car World Holy Water that I purchased from you for like $5. How did you end up selling water at that Car World Gala?
Oh, they just asked me, or they asked, we're looking for people, I think. I forget, but, yeah, pretty, like, casual. And it's very interesting to me, so I was, like, excited to have any, like, part to play in it. Because, like, immersive things like that and, like, bridging the line of reality is just so cool. So, I mean, very interesting.
Nice. I wanted to say, too, thanks for being a human being alongside Eric Yates, John Connor. Like, you guys really seem like...
Who was the other one? Eric Yates and who?
John Connor Hammond.
I don't know that well. But, sorry, what were you saying?
No, it just seems like you guys are very nice, professional people, and at the same time, you want the best for everybody. And that's the best way I can summarize that.
Oh, thank you. That's very nice of you to say.
Yeah. But next one, moving on. Out of all the work that you have accomplished so far, is there anything that you are most proud of, Miss Watson?
Most proud of? I'm really proud of Club Video, and I'm really... it's hard to say. I think I'm very proud of the level of event and film I've been able to achieve with the amount of resources I've had at my disposal. And when you're doing something and suddenly you feel the people that you are working with get excited and feel like, wow, this is bigger than I was imagining, or this is bigger than I thought it could be, that's a really good feeling. And, like, I get that from other people like Michelle Gold and working with Brooke Elliott and, working with Micah, of just, like, when people get excited and they start, like, putting in their talents and putting in what they're doing, and you end up making something, bigger than you feel like everyone's telling you can do without a bunch of money, or without, like, a professional team. Like, that I feel very proud of.
Nice. And then when it comes to Pride, doing my Nardwuar deep dive searches, bear with me if any of this is creepy, but You grew up in Allentown, Pennsylvania, correct?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay, okay. See, I feel like a fucking doober doing creepy shit. Okay.
Well, yeah, I didn't grow up there, but I lived there.
Oh, you live, okay.
I was born there. Yeah.
Oh, shit. Well, then I guess help me answer this one, because now I know the answer, but what was it like growing up there, and what drove you to achieve your BFA in scientific illustration at the University of Georgia?
Yeah, so I don't remember being there at all.
Dang,
I moved
okay.
when I was really young to Atlanta, and so I went to University of Georgia because they have a really good Hope scholarship there based on the lottery. And so I was at the University of Georgia, and I was going to be a graphic designer, but their program was like truly psychotic. And I didn't get to do that, so then I decided I want to do science illustration because it just seemed like kind of the closest thing, because it had more like computer animation and like practical applied drawing skills versus like just studio art practice.
Right.
And I also I like biology, so yeah.
Awesome answer. And now I'll look more into the Atlanta history. Oh, man, my friend is calling me? No. Oh, dude, come on. I've waited so long to interview. Okay. Hold and end and accept, right? No, fuck. I'll call you back. Damn it. I'm an old man. That's embarrassing. That shit is... Hey, I'm an old man with the phone. I hung up.
No worries.
Shit, dude. Okay, great answer to that. I'll look into your Atlanta, Georgia history another time. Maybe we'll do a follow-up.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, thanks for answering that. The next one, I asked a similar question to MDL himself, and I'm really interested now to see, now that I know you grew up Georgia side, what's the biggest difference between high school Whitley and the comedic Thunder Force as I described before my eyes today?
Between high school me and me now, I mean, I think.
What were you like at Chattahoochee?
At Chattahoochee High?
Yeah.
I think I was much more of a loner before, and a lot less confident socially and in all kinds of ways, and very scared person. I mean, I still like lots of art stuff and funny and hang out with my friends and stuff, but I think I felt very outside a lot of stuff, and now I feel like I have found like a community of people that I really relate to.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Good answer. And then going off the creep Chattahoochee questioning, is there a dream project that you'd like to put out someday other than showcasing a man pinning his ass cheeks together IRL?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I always think it'd be really cool to make a mini-series about the Haitian Revolution.
Cool.
Because I think, like, there's so much, like, fantasy, or, like, people do have a million Civil War movies or fantasy movies or, like, Black Panther, like, fake Wakanda, like a fake world Wakanda, but, like, there's all this, like, historical drama and intrigue and, like, a lot about like identity and relating and stuff that I think would be cool if there was there. There's also this book called The Westing Game. Oh my God. Do you know this book?
I read it in 8th grade. Yes. Yeah, I read The Westing Game.
I would love to make like that, the feature film. I'm like obsessed with that book. I think it is so good on so many levels. Yeah, but those are like dream things. I'd really just like to be able to make some more, just like make money making like film and TV or producing events, whatever, comedy stuff. Be able to be creative.
Yeah, last time I checked, I'm pretty sure either Warner Brothers has it or one of the big studios has the rights, but if some agent or a government entertainment lawyer of the Hollywood Foreign Press is listening in right now, please give Whitley the project, because that sounds cool.
Please give it to me.
And going off of the please give it to me, Whitley, have you ever slept on a Watson plus Whitley recliner or mattress?
I have not.
Have you ever heard of them, or has anyone teased you?
No.
No? Oh, shit, they look really comfy.
Watson plus Whitley?
Yeah.
Watson and Whitley. Well, no.
It's like $600 recliners, and I didn't know if like your parents had an affinity for really good furniture or something.
No, are they high end? That would be nice.
The lowest price one I saw was like $600, and they seem to be, something that maybe Don Draper would have in his modern apartment.
Nice. I should figure it out.
Yeah. Well, okay, that was a shit in the toilet. But the next one is, I'm going to quote you verbatim, holding back my embarrassment. But, ladies and gentlemen, as I've said before, Whitley does these stories that are more impressive than a lot of content people put on their main grid on Instagram. And here's a little quote that I wrote down in pretty much, it looks like Braille, my handwriting. So, something I love about reality dating shows is that they never address racial dynamics, despite how obvious they are. Flipping the page. The contestants brought back from episode 11 of Perfect Match are predominantly black, and the group includes all of the black women on the show. And who is navigating us through this uncomfortable injection of social reality and our escapist fantasies? Nick Lachey. So, Whitley, how do you feel about the current state of reality TV, the show Perfect Match in general, and do you have a favorite 98 Degrees song?
Favorite 98 Degrees song? Not really. I don't remember that. I don't remember their songs. I remember them being like the third tier option.
Yeah, no, that's what it was, yeah.
But state of reality TV, I mean, I can only see it. It's such an accepted form now. I don't know if you've ever seen, there's a dating show on Netflix called Dating Around, I think. But it's really interesting because it's shot like David Fincher. It's so scary. Whoa. But there's a very baked in, it's like one person will go on a date with 5 other people, but they don't change their clothes, and they're at the same restaurant, but they just intercut the footage of the different dates. So it looks like this person is like having a hallucination or is a serial killer because they're like talking, and then on the end of the conversation there's just this other person. But what's interesting about it is like they'll do the first dinner, okay, and then they kind of have these little scenes of them being like, I guess we'll maybe talk later, and that's an elimination. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're not saying it's an elimination, there's no host, but they're just doing that, and then after drinks only 2 people stay, and then after these little talks and only 1 person says it. But the full grammar of the dating show is so baked into your mind that like you understand what's happening even without a host and without any kind of like on-screen information. So, and like I think Chuck Klosterman talked one time about how like a lot, like 10 years ago, how reality TV has affected our language, where people like confront their friends or like, so I don't see it like stopping anytime soon. But if you ever imagine what that's like from first person, I was doing that with my roommate. It's so horrifying to think of someone coming into a room and screaming at you and like 5 people with cameras do nothing. Yeah. So the state of like people, and like it is on Perfect Match, like a lot of them are talking about, I used to live in Seattle, but now I live in LA. Or I used to live here, now I live in LA. And they all know each other from before, from just like reality show person networking. And that's so insane of it as like an industry and a lifestyle and a subset of the population who do this work. And their life is performance and their life is work. So that's really crazy. And then in terms of Perfect Match and the racial stuff, like that's in all the dating shows, but this one was just particularly intense because, so like people are dating, and then if you don't get picked, you leave the house. And then in episode 11, they brought back everybody who was like not picked and out, and some of them come in and out, but all of these people had ended up out, and most of them were black. And all the women who were black ended up out. And, like, it was so in your face, but they never mention it, and no one's really mentioning it on the show. They'll occasionally talk about, like, race, but always kind of in a way of, like, oh, not a problem, or, like, I'm not worried about that, or, but there's never anyone who's like, yeah, that's really not going to work for me, or I don't think we have the right culture, or, like, very rarely is that voiced, but it's just very clear in, like, who they show and who's going on dates, and they also they don't set the show up the other way where, like, it's a predominantly black cast and see if, like, white people are able to, like, stay in the house. And then also, like, these people are picking matches for each other, and, like, you can see sometimes that who they are setting up together feels informed by, like, racial dynamics. I just think it's very, very, very interesting. It's funny to me. It's almost psychedelic to see something so blatant and nobody say anything. Yeah.
Well, thank you for addressing all those issues, because it's a perfect segue to my next question. So many people are excited either tomorrow night, go at midnight to go see this movie, or go on Friday to go see this movie. I'm raised by a florist whose favorite TV show is Sex and the City. He has seasons 1 through 6 in the back of his flower shop. And we're all very excited for the Barbie movie.
Okay.
And so when this trailer dropped, I was I want to say disappointed, but I don't think that word encapsulates exactly how I feel. Because it seemed to me like when you're talking about that psychedelic sense of, okay, can people see before their eyes what's going on, or is it just me here? The Barbie movie kind of looks like it's going to be this very contrived white woman saves Barbie landism with Ryan Gosling, I don't know, just being the hopeless dope. And
yeah, dope man.
Yeah, like, are you excited for the Barbie movie?
What is it, the tagline? He's garbage, she's everything.
Is that true?
There's like a thing going around. It's like she's everything, he's just Ken.
God damn it! I don't like that.
I don't like it either.
It's fucked. So
yeah. There's also, I saw the clip with the woman from SNL,
Kate McKinnon.
Kate McKinnon, where she's like offering her a
Birkenstock
or a high heel, and like some person on Twitter was like trying to read queer subtext into it, and like I don't think it's gonna have that much subtext. I think it's gonna be heavy on subtext, but I don't know if it's gonna be in a Mad Men sense of really hitting it. And I'm nervous because there's so many people are excited to see this movie. Wanting it to be good.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of it that turns me off. I'm pretty easily turned off. Like, I need to be more open. But, like, the number of stars in the Barbie thing, there's, like, 40 people or something in the movie, and they all feel very sort of, like, plucked from pop culture.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably, like, the reverse of the casting I like. Like, I just want to see literally people off the street. So that's, like, number one, red flag. Number two, there's so much promotion, and it does so far not feel like there's very much meat happening in the scenes, and it could be really plastic and fun, but it also doesn't seem like it has any kind of like John Watersy like campy edge. It feels very like
try hard campy edge.
Straight on, yeah.
Yeah. No, the part where she's walking into the shower with her feet raised, it's like, okay, it's the Quentin Tarantino woman. That's funny, but at the same time, like, yeah, dude, I don't know. I'm gonna see it, and I read this article in, I believe it was Vogue, that did change my opinion about the film and the amount of effort that's put into it. You know, I'm gonna check it out. But I had to ask you because when I saw that trailer, I was like, if anyone should be handed this project, it is you. That it would have been a campier, a John Watt. That would have been right on the money. Throw in Johnny Knoxville from his John Waters movie where the woman has those huge tits.
Yeah, or like, like in Toy Story where they have all the fucked up toys.
Yeah. Yeah.
How fun that would be, or like even like a Rugrats style, like the fucked up house where the toys actually live, and maybe they do get into that. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like I haven't loved other Greta Gerwig movies, and there's like a similar there's just some kind of emotional disconnect for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Lady Bird, granted my mother thinks it's a perfect film, but god damn, you could not pay me to watch that movie again.
Yeah, I did not care for it.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for pretty much airing all of my grievances. And then, sadly, I'm at the last question. And, Whitley, every single person, going back to my first big interview with Asher Roth, I asked him, how you doing today? And then this latter question, which I've asked MDL, Zach, Kreger, so anybody that's ever come on the show, and I'm just wondering, in as much detail as possible, Whitley Watson, describe your ideal, perfect breakfast.
Oh, perfect breakfast?
Mm-hmm. Take your time.
Okay. I'm gonna go with, oh my god, this is so hard. I'm gonna go with waffles.
Hey, alright.
I like waffles with yogurt.
Ooh, okay.
And honey and lime zest on the yogurt, and then like raspberries or strawberries or like some kind of fruit. And then a little syrup and butter. I think that's like a pretty perfect breakfast. Yeah. I'm not a big coffee person. Yeah, the drink, no real drink. Maybe like a really good juice, like a beet, apple, ginger, that kind of juice would be nice.
Cool. And then, I guess, I should ask too, are you going with like regular Greek yogurt on top of that, or is it strawberry yogurt on the waffles?
Greek yogurt, yeah.
Greek yogurt, okay. And then, with the Kreger piece I did, he named me two of his favorite spots to eat. One was this place called the Fancy Biscuit, which he said he had the best egg, cheese, sausage of his life. Do you have a favorite place to eat in the city?
I really like eating at Nana Ramen in Bed-Stuy. I think it's like a very underrated, super good, and they have like these little Inari pocket that are really great. Mm-hmm. And then I also like, again, not the most fancy place, but Los Arcos Tacos in Bushwick. They have like consistently very good shrimp tacos in my experience, and I mean it's been a few years I think, but that's what I would say when I think about like places I'm like, I really want to go there in New York.
Nice. I'll check out the ramen and the shrimp tacos hopefully in a month when I make it up to that blockbuster celebration of a party for Club Video.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's pretty much all the questions I have for you today, Whitley. I've got one that it's more of business, which I'll edit out. I'll ask you in a second. But
okay.
I gotta say, your writing is so good, and I love the way you act. I love the way you scream in skits. Thank you for talking about the Afrocentricity of picking out a wig. Thank you for breaking down why the Barbie movie is probably going to go the way of Verhoeven's Showgirls. And
well, I mean, that's having like a reimagining, So
yeah,
we could be wrong.
That's true. We could be wrong. It could be a good film, but just thank you so much, and I just wish you the best of luck with everything you do.
Thank you so much. This has been so nice, and I really appreciate everything you've said. So,
thanks.